Okay. What happens when the pituitary gland responds? It in turn secretes the adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, and that is picked up by the bloodstream and it's sent down to the adrenal glands. And the adrenal glands have a lot of receptor sites for this. This is the major stress hormone. And then the adrenals start to pump out the adrenal hormones, the cortisol, the adrenaline, and the noradrenaline. This is really getting you in the position to either fight or run away. But the problem is that most people stay in that mode for most of the day, in one way or another. Now, physiologically, here's what's happening in the lungs. Your breath quickens as your lung takes in extra oxygen to feed the impending muscle activity. But if you see lower, you have shallow breathing. And one of the ways that you control your emotions is with deep, calm breathing. So right here, the first thing is you start to do the shallow breathing, and the emotions, you start to lose control of the emotions. Glucose and fats are released from storage sites in your bloodstream. This supplies energy that your body needs to fend off the threat. But there's no threat really, for the most part. So again, if you continually reinforce this cascade. Now, this cascade that's happening right now, it takes about 4 seconds for this to happen in your body. This is very fast. But what do you think the speed of a thought is? It's the speed of energy. It's the speed of light. So even before your organs are alerted to the fact that there's a threat, your thought has already told every one of those 50 trillion cells in your body that they have to marshal the forces, that something big is going down, okay? And this can actually start changing the morphology of your cells. They go from that growth condition that they were in before this happened into the protective mode, okay? So they will stop taking in nutrients. Okay, the sense of sight and hearing becomes sharper to make you more alert. If you've ever watched an Olympic athlete, especially the sprinters, the runners, okay, when they get ready, everything, you know, they are totally focused, they're looking ahead, they get down into that crouching position, and they wait for the gun, okay? So right now, at this point, you're in that position. You're down there, you're crouched down, your butt's in the air, you're waiting for the gun to go off, and guess what? Never does. So you're standing there, and you're standing there. You can stand there for minutes, sometimes you stand there for hours. And all the while, your muscles are twitching, your body is using an incredible amount of energy to keep you at that point. And then when it finally does come time, when you're called on to perform, you're so exhausted that you can't do it. Okay. And the heart beats faster, sometimes up to 5 times its normal rate. I mean, think about that. If you're in fairly good condition, I mean, your heart rate can be 50 to 60 beats per minute, sometimes even lower. Think about what happens when your heart starts to beat at a rate of 250 times a minute, or sometimes 300 times a minute. Now, if you have a really great cardiovascular system, and your arteries and veins are really pliable, and there's no calcification going on whatsoever, you can probably sustain this kind of thing. But if you've got conditions where the arteries have started to get that plaque buildup, okay, the arteries don't expand very well, and the heart's pumping and pumping and pumping, and eventually because the arteries don't expand, you're stressing the heart out. And this is one of the major causes of heart attack for stress. Okay. As the heart beats faster, the blood pressure, of course, will rise. Your tiny muscles, even the hair-raising muscles beneath the skin, are tightening. Okay. And here's a kicker. Certain blood vessels constrict, especially to the digestive system. So, you're eating a perfect diet. You're getting all the minerals, all the nutrients that you need. But you are a stress ball, okay? Are you getting the benefit of consuming those substances? Because your digestive organs have totally, they've shut down. They've shut down. They've stopped digesting, absorbing, detoxifying, and excreting. Okay, here's another one. You are not able to make sound decisions when you are in a state of stress. And the reason for that is, again, the blood vessels to the frontal cortex of the brain, where you do all of your executive decisions, has been restricted. And the blood flow to the limbic brain, that reptilian brain, your fight or flight syndrome, that's where your blood flow is going. So not only does stress damage all the systems, it makes you stupid at the same time. Let's see, okay. And this is the second kicker. The adrenal hormones directly repress the activity of the immune system to conserve energy because it needs it for the muscles. All right, so now you've shut down the digestive system, and now you're going to shut down the immune system. And there's a really good example of how this happens, and it's someone who's involved with the longevity now. Last year, Rebecca, who you all know, right? How many think that putting on a conference like this has a little bit of stress attached to it? Okay, yeah, all right. And think of that 3 days, nonstop, of making sure that everyone in this room and everyone else listening is having a good conference, that everything is flowing smoothly, okay? Lots of stress going on there. The day after the conference ended last year, Rebecca got sick, right? She got better. She took some herbs, good nutrients, and what did she do? She started planning this one. Okay. But it was a pretty good example of what stress can do in a continued onslaught. Okay.